welcome everyone, and welcome to the Decod3rs Live. So today I have Chuck from Vandals project. But before that, I would like to recap what Decod3rs is, what the project is all about, and what we are doing on the channel. So basically, Decod3rs is building the tools for Web3 content creators, and this channel is a proof of concept of what we are building. Basically, like every time we produce a video like the one that you are watching right now, we're gonna mint the thumbnail of it, and if you win the raffle, you will get the ownership of the video and a percentage of the revenue generated from that video. So basically, Decod3rs is the first decentralized and community-owned YouTube channel. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, follow us on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram to know more about the project and discover everything we have to offer to you. And now, that's it. That's all about Decod3rs. Let's welcome Chuck to the live and see what's up with Vandal. What's up, Chucks? How are you doing, man?
Good to hear from you. Good to be here.
Nice.
Thanks for having us.
No problem.
I just went ahead and checked the link to people here.
Yeah. That's great, man. So how have you been, man? How do you feel? The first question will be how was your 2022 recap, and how do you feel for 2023?
It's been good because, we ended the year super strong as kind of an NFT ecosystem, as a Solana ecosystem. We went through probably the shittiest time that any of us could have expected to go through, but it ended up okay. We had FTX and everything, but now things are starting to look positive. We see lots of good momentum, lots of positive actors. Something that Raj, the co-founder of Solana, for those that aren't familiar with Raj, something he wrote is, we're going to go through a period now of removing all of the bad actors that plagued the Sol ecosystem. And I think that he's absolutely right. I'm very bullish for 2023. We've got great things coming. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Even on crypto Twitter, you can see the people who are still on crypto Twitter specifically, they are more more interesting tweets and more big brain stuff that before, and it's less a mess than 6 months ago. But definitely a nice period.
We're left with people with high standards, but they also have realistic standards. And I think that's super important.
Yeah, exactly. And specifically for NFT project founders, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And compared to the bull market, can you take some more rest, to recharge the batteries and still work, obviously, but how the calendars are going during the bear market?
Can you say that one more time? Sorry, I missed it.
So sorry, French question translated. How do you feel the pressure or the way you walk during a bull market versus the bear market? Is that easier or not really?
I mean, honestly, it's hard to say because my lifestyle is very much just work, exercise, and that. So it's tough. I've been traveling a lot, but kind of doing the same thing everywhere that I do travel. I just find a gym that I like. I try to stay close to water, and then the rest of it is just working on things. And cool. I'm in Sydney now. Sydney's amazing. There's a lot of people kind of blockchain interested or blockchain building here, so that's good. I try to have conversations with random people that I meet. And
that's cool.
Yeah, just building the network, kind of explaining to them what we're doing. People who meet me in person, they get to see firsthand some behind the scenes things. I see one of them is actually in the chat. I just met up with him in Melbourne.
Nice. Which one, Grant?
D-Ref.
Yeah, D-Ref the guy. That's cool. Yeah, that's nice. And there's a huge ecosystem for Solana NFTs in Australia or even in Sydney.
To me, it looks busy. I'm going to be meeting more people the next few weeks, so I think that it'll be good to just see what's going on, see what they're up to. I know there's a lot of data-driven like projects going on around here, like whether they're Web3 or Web2, there's a lot of kind of forecasting companies, and I believe that we'll see a big growth in Web3, especially in these cities. They're more developed. I was in Bali before this, and there's a lot of enthusiasm for NFTs and crypto in Bali.
Yeah.
I do find Sydney to be a bit more kind of realistic in their approach on things.
Okay.
But both are very
that's interesting.
communities. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Vandals though, more than anything, because we're gonna have a comeback season like no one's ever seen before.
I can't wait for that, man. My bag is loaded, man. I'm ready for that. Ready for the Vandal takeover.
So I mean, the last 3 months have been a bit kind of miserable for a lot of reasons, but like for us, we really had to look critically at, you know, what was going on with the project, because we started off with this like super competitive, we wanted to move fast, we made the Heist game. The Heist game was fun for a little while, and then it wasn't fun because it didn't come back. It was difficult, right? And like one of the issues we had with it is that it's short-lived, and we really wanted to kind of start building out things that would be constantly available, because one of the biggest criticisms we got was that like we build things that are very exciting for a short period of time and then they're over. And if you didn't live that excitement, it's just not easy to explain it to people. So like the big thing that we're working on now is making games and tools that are going to be kind of running 24/7.
That's nice.
This, you know, the next thing that we did, because like kind of the history of Vandals, for those that don't know, is when the Ute list came out, Barry and I were talking, and we said, you know, what if we just heisted the Ute list? And what if we just got all the spots, as many as we possibly could, right? So we have this kind of competitive like heist game, and then we like heisted the ecosystem in a way. And like so like it went on to socials, as like the social kind of like nature of the project like showed there as well as in the technical side. So I think that now titled together, like we all know that we have this Magic Eden issue going on where things are not listable on Magic Eden. For those listening, we just got off of a call with them this morning, and that will be done this week. The resolution is coming now.
Nice.
So the resolution is everyone holding a Cardinal Vandal is going to be airdropped another one, which will be merged to the existing collection on Magic Eden.
Wonderful. That's great news, man. Yeah, so because like sorry. Like as soon as the swap was like available, I swap everything because I like to play by the project rules and just do what the fuck you tell me to do in the announcement. And then
we had to make a quick decision, and the timing was very unfortunate because we really like the Cardinal team a lot. And Metaplex kind of announced that they had a new standard immediately after we made that switch. Like I think it was within 48 hours. So the timing was no good. However, in the end, it will be okay. And we really do appreciate people kind of sticking with us, understanding that we were guinea pigs in the whole thing.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, it was like a play, like you don't know that it didn't play well at the moment you execute on it, but like as long as you have a solution that allow people to like just fix the issue, fuck that, it's all good, man.
In the end it will be okay, and you know, we'll keep a close eye on everyone that kind of supported us and see what we can do for them in the future, because that means a lot to us as a project.
Whack boom, man.
But we can look forward to a rebrand. I don't know if you know this, we're rebranding the entire community, kind of an overhaul on all of our websites, everything, to make it look cohesive. I was kind of looking at the other criticisms were that the collection is split into, the websites are not cohesive. So like we're going to come back to Magic Eden, we're going to redo the websites and like remind people of what it feels like to be a Vandal.
Yeah, no,
so
that's
along
going to be the
technology, there's going to be ways to make money. There's going to be an on-chain reward system for the games that we're making. A lot of good things.
Yeah. And what kind of games are you building? What can you expect?
Let's see. The first game is going to be our variation on coin flip. So we wanted to take coin flip and then kind of extend it. So there's a few new options that we don't see on other ones. I'm not going to give them away, but you can expect it mechanically to work like coin flip. There's going to be an on-chain reward system built into the game. So regardless of the outcome, there's a surprise coming in that direction.
Okay.
The second game is going to be an NFT flip, which we haven't seen yet. But we're going to create a way that you can kind of wager NFTs and try to double up on collections that you feel strongly about. And then the other two games will be more reminiscent of the Heist game that we had originally.
Nice. That's cool. I can't wait for that because like I missed like the first version of the Haste, but like having it was like a couple of weeks after, or at least like it remind me of like the Decod roadmap when you had like to brute force like like all of the seed phrase stuff, and it was kind of like the same, like like the same mindset of it. And yeah, like I didn't spend too much time of the first aid, but like I remember having like a group chat with someone from the community saying, yeah, do you have your group and stuff like that, and do you want to start with us, blah blah blah, because we already have clues. So yeah, like a V2 of that, man, that's gonna be dope.
There were like 1,000 messages per second during that game, so that was super exciting.
Exactly. Yeah, no, it's good. Like it was a nice way to yeah, like activate your community and make sure everyone is active. And honestly, that's like the first version. Like that's why I was bullish on Vandal too, because like I was like seeing like you building some cool shit that were like original and like really interesting for the community to engage with the community. So yeah, that's how I think I discovered you, or maybe before, but like yeah, that's why at least I fall in love with like the project. So and then never left. Keep the bill down on you guys.
That Heist went well. It was a lot of fun, and kind of building upon it, we realized we need a little bit more intuitive design because it wasn't intuitive to a lot of people. And us as the game makers, or like, we think it's intuitive because we built it, right? We know where everything is, how to do everything. So it feels easy to us, but we realized kind of reading people's feedback that it was not intuitive. So what we release next is going to be very straightforward and obvious. Like it's going to be designed so you know where to click, you know what to read, you know how to navigate, and just that's a big weakness that we decided to work on.
Okay.
So bear market builders, kind of to answer the question from before, like when the bear market hits, the best thing you can do is look at what did you struggle to do before, what are your weaknesses, why aren't you where you want to be, and like that's the time to go and revisit and try to accomplish all of those things.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's been the last 3 months, and the next 3 months are going to be the unveiling.
Nice. That's cool. And like to fix like those like user experience issue that you have previously, did you work with someone else like who had like user UX UI experience, or like what was the iteration process on that?
So a lot of it came from doing research into other projects. Like we like play people's games, we talk to people, we play games and then ask other people who played those games what they thought about them, and just kind of break down like really what is it that's making this successful. And like some of the things that we've identified are like the center of the page is like where the action happens, because that's where people are looking. Like trying not to distract them with too many things. The colors need to be enticing but not overpowering. Sounds are important, like the smoothness of transactions are important. Like you look at FFF Flip, like one of the reasons it's so great is because it's so quick, right? Like it's smooth to do it. You can play 10 times and not realize it. And like that's what the user wants, right? Like they get on a roll, they want to keep it going. They want to kill momentum. And also there's nothing like distracting them away from it. They don't feel punishing, they don't feel like it's too good to be true, like they have to be realistic. And so we played a lot of other people's things, looked at a lot of things. We had some beta testers for some small things that we released, and then we took all of their feedback, all of their criticism, and then kind of built what we're almost finished with now.
That's exciting. Like when I listen to you Yeah, exactly.
I don't
Like
know if
what?
you remember. I'll remind people when we were first growing, right? Like one of Barry's quotes that everyone loved was, "Yeah, fuck the haters, but listen to the haters." And like I think that
Yeah,
that quote has stuck with a lot of us. Like fuck them, but like honestly, like that's who you're gonna get
yeah,
the best feedback from.
yeah,
Because like the people who love you, like they just love you. They're yes men. You can put out something terrible and they'd be like, you're amazing. So like
exactly.
fuck the haters.
Yeah.
Listen to the haters.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
again, like that's I think Frank said that during a space. Like, yeah, fuck the haters, but like at the end of the day, we hired them because like they were like the like critical aspect of it that make us like better. So it's basically that, right? And if you can
Definitely.
flip a photos, that's even better.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I mean overall bullish on kind of the whole ecosystem. I'm looking
no, that's
forward
cool.
to what we're going to do. And like it's just great to see like, like Deagle just moving, Utes are moving. It
Mm-hmm.
felt like everything was falling apart, but we found a way to bring it back. Big kudos to Tom for the pilot's release. It went very well, and that brought a
Yeah.
lot of excitement to the ecosystem. Like Bonk was a lot of fun. We definitely needed a token of our own that resembled kind of a successful meme token. So that was really good to see. And yeah, like this is the time, like everyone who's been like creating momentum the last few months, like
Yeah.
they're all gonna get rewarded now.
Yeah, exactly. But like honestly, like in your position when like you had like everything, like all of the like not issues, but like troubles that you went through, like it's already remarkable like for you to still showing up every day and work on the project, right? Because like how many projects have just disappeared? Like you check your Discord and 90% of them are dead and like ghost stone. And but like Vandal is still here, and like I truly believe that there is something, yeah, to do, and like you have the capabilities and the possibility to come back from where we said it's not like okay, we're like the floor price and the volume went down, but like it's not like you still have your community, which is your biggest asset, and with that you can still like come back and going back to all-time high and beyond, right?
Yeah, the community is the biggest asset, so massive thank you
Mm.
to all of them. Definitely important. I think that in the bear market, you're right, a lot of people disappeared, but like something I tweeted sort of recently was that the bear market is the best indicator of integrity.
Yeah.
And something that helped me maintain integrity is that when I started and I went out into this space, right? Like I dropped everything else. Like this is all I do. So
Mm.
like there isn't something to distract me and say I'm gonna go do this now. Like this is really what I do, and that failure is not really an option. So like I'm not going to fail. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna listen to people. Like in a way, I'm grateful that the bear market came when it did, because like
Hmm.
just like kind of from my own bias, right? For our project, we needed to reassess things. We had to really look at what people were telling us, and like this was a perfect opportunity to go into a build mode. Whereas like
Hmm.
if we're just in a perpetual bull and you need to reassess things, like you don't have time to do it with like attention to detail.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good reset, right? Like you can, okay, let's scratch what didn't work and like find something that can work and double down on that, right?
Yeah, I mean the whole we tried some shit. Now we're gonna try some other shit. Like I know this is like the
Yeah.
Degods thing, but like it
Yeah.
really does apply to Vandals.
Yeah. No, that's cool. And like it's like again, it's like building a startup, but 10 times faster and stronger. And like NFT project for like NFT project are like really, really, really hard to create and develop. And like yeah, people and others don't I don't feel like they understand like profoundly, but like it's the dynamics and like all of the skills and like the effort to push an NFT collection to life and to even like the success that you had, guys, it's massive.
I mean, there's so much that goes into an NFT project. Like it's hard to
Yeah.
even break it all down, right? So like since my brother Barry and I like started in this space, we've had at
Hmm.
least 100 people that we know like say, "Hey, we're gonna go make our own project. This is our concept. Like, can you support us? Can you do this? Can you do that?" And like of the 150, I want to say all 150 dropped it. Like
Yeah.
People think that, okay, I can write some code, I can make websites, or one guy can do artwork, or someone like there's
Yeah.
so many details. And if I really had to break it down, right, you gotta be a good engineer like yourself, or have one on the team. You have to be very good at marketing. You gotta understand what you gotta do market research. You gotta know what people want, what they're already after. You got to have good communication skills, because you're going to have to talk to a lot of people you didn't intend to. Like, you need friends in this space to make it. Networking, very, very important. Making sure that you do right by people. Like, you're going to owe favors. Like, there's a lot of things that go into it. And if you're not really positioned with your past experience to do all of those things,
Yeah.
you're not going to survive the hard times. So
Exactly.
it's a lot harder than people think to run these projects. I mean, you're doing your own now, so you know this very well.
Yeah, like 100%. Like, and honestly, I'm happy that I'm 30 plus to have the maturity of like understanding and like sit down when like everything is not going perfectly. Because yeah, if I was like younger and stuff, like I don't know how to handle all that pressure, like people in your community screaming at you, why the floor price is like we lost like 2 SOL floor price, like what the fuck?
Yeah, it's not easy. I mean, I think for us, like, what really keeps us strong is the three of us together. And I mean, like,
Yeah,
me, Barry, and Ivo. So like, between the three of us, we have the things that you need, right? So like me, like, I've got the maturity. I kind of got my uni studies out of the way a decade ago,
yeah,
went on to work at big companies, did a lot of kind of tech jobs, consulting, then startups afterwards, and now this. So I've got like the pedigree that you need for this. And my brother's got, he really understands the market well. He's very like polarizing, right? Like, people absolutely adore Barry, or they can't stand him. But like, that's the character that you need.
yeah, exactly.
Like that's
That
the
yeah,
character you need as the public figure. Like, it's someone who makes you feel something. And like, he's just got this like grasp on how people feel and like what needs to be done. He's really, really good at like split-second decisions. Right. So like, then we've got Evo, who is, you know, trained at Goldman Sachs. He's an extraordinary engineer. So when you combine the three of us together, like, that's what makes the team, and that's how we got through what we did.
yeah, that's pretty cool, and that's why you were successful, like at some point in your history, and that's why also you still have the capability to go back to all-time high, and again, like
We've got a lot of longevity. I intend to
yeah,
go back to all-time highs.
yeah, exactly, and above and beyond. And so yeah, like
Yeah,
okay, so like yeah,
we're gonna make it happen. We'll go all-time highs and
yeah.
beyond.
Exactly. Okay, let
Like,
me maybe we should start.
people want to see things now, you know. I think that what they see next will be better than what they saw before. And like,
Yeah,
our ability to take feedback and keep building, like, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
yeah, yeah. Maybe we should pause the live so I can buy more Vandals right now to be prepared after.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, and like
I'll
okay,
And
say again.
also, like, if you hit Barry and I up after this is done, we can give you some
Yeah,
leaks. As long as you don't share it with people, we'll give you some leaks. So just so you know.
man, like for this live, we have like a conversation, just you, me, and Barry, right? So we have to use it even after the live, right?
Yeah, we can do it. And I mean, you were the big. See, we have a long history. For the viewers that don't know, like, you were the winner of the Utes list in terms of like a
Yeah,
Vandal owner, right? So like, I think that among the
100%.
Vandal owners, you had the biggest win on the Ute list.
Yeah, yeah, like 100%. Like, man, again, like the same way, like I put it in the tweet to announce the live. That was definitely
Congratulations.
a hold up, man. Yeah,
I'm laughing
like
because you got Bear Hug Radio here saying leak it, leak it.
yeah,
Yeah, I can't do that. I mean, like, look, one of the big reasons I don't want to leak is because like, we do need to build that anticipation. But on top of that, like, things are subject to change. I don't want anyone to fall in love with something that changes at the end. So like, between
yeah.
those two things, but I do appreciate the enthusiasm.
And honestly, it's that part. just that part is tricky too, right? Because like, yeah, you want to announce something every day, but if you announce something that's not gonna happen, then like your orders will be like sad about that news, etc. It's again
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
yeah, NFT founders are like, yeah, full of paradox, like the not the founders, but like the way to, yeah, market everything and think about what you're going to leak or not, or like it's crazy. It's mind blowing.
And also, in this space, right? Like things change so fast, and what's possible today might not be possible tomorrow, or like
Yeah,
what's the optimal thing to do today might not be optimal tomorrow. And like you want to go with that speed, right? And you want to do your best to keep up with it, but also not tell people things that you can't do now. But like
yeah,
being in the NFT space, like I think we all have to just understand that things change. Because like if you look
yeah,
at like a Web2 business or typical startup, right? Like they have 12 to 24 months to release like small like features, right?
yeah,
Like that's how long it takes to do multiple seed rounds to do all these things. And like the NFT space is like, what the fuck is going on next week?
yeah,
What's happening like, this weekend? And it's
yeah,
different. Like, but we learn to adapt just as the community learns to adapt. And like we all like to move fast. If we didn't, we wouldn't be doing this. So yeah, it's definitely exciting. Managing expectations is a skill that you learn over time, and it's definitely this is the place to learn how to do that, because like nothing
yeah.
moves as fast as it does here, socially at least.
Yeah, 100%. Again, like in Web2 startup, like you have to do the job of like 100 employees with like 3 guys in the room. But with NFT, you have to do the job of like 10 collection, like and beat like everyone else with the same capacity, faster and even stronger. It's like, but that's why we love the job too, right? Like that's what makes it fun.
Yeah. I mean, I
And
wouldn't
yeah,
trade this for anything. The
yeah,
people I know
exactly.
think I'm insane. They think I'm
Yeah,
insane because they're like, you've been sitting at your computer for like 28 hours straight. I don't think you've ate
yeah.
anything. Like they'll bring me coffee, and like they're really, really nice, like very supportive people in my life, my friends and my partner, and they're very supportive. But people not in this space definitely think we're insane.
Yeah. And maybe they're right, man. Maybe we are all crazy doing what we are doing,
Maybe we
but it
are,
will,
dude.
yeah.
Look, I mean,
But it will
what
pay
I
off,
saw
man.
with
It
the
will pay
NFT
off.
space was like we got the opportunity to rebuild everything that we didn't like and say, what would
Yeah,
it look like different? And like that to me is the most exciting thing you can imagine, where
yeah,
like we're starting off kind of easy. Like we're starting off as NFTs require financial instruments in order to have stability and functionality. So we did staking to reward people. We have lending, right? Because you need collateralized lending to grow any ecosystem. We have instant liquidity via Hades Swap. We've got trading. We've got like decentralized exchanges, marketplaces. Like all these things that we're building are just like building blocks so that there's any stability. But beyond this, like anything is possible. Because when you think of an NFT, like all it is a location. It's just an address.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
and
exactly.
the way I've explained this to people in the past is like a social security number is just a number, right? But so
Yeah,
many things are built on top of the fucking number. So like if an NFT is just an address, you can build anything on that location. And like
yeah,
we're just now like putting our toes in the water of what's possible.
yeah, exactly. Like I can't wait to see the industry in 5 years, to see what we have built, like doing right now from there. Like it's gonna be like impressive. Like it's gonna be so much exciting. Like to see what we have accomplished so far in just a couple of years. I mean, like again, like the Solana season is like 1.5 years old, right? Like it's crazy. It's madness. And Evan, you know, like the time flies at the speed in the NFT world. It's crazy. I was checking my content calendars like today, and bro, like I was like, I felt like, oh, I have so many videos, like like almost 10 videos with live and stuff like that. It's been 2 weeks. Like I've like,
Yeah. Just imagine. It's gonna be so exciting.
yeah, no, it's gonna be awesome. And can you disclose like the runway that you have with for vendors? Like, how do you plan to survive like the possible maybe 2-3 years of bear market?
So I mean, initially it's gonna be games.
Okay.
So Barry's actually working with Ronos on a map at the moment. So
Mm-hmm.
we're going to do an artistic map of kind of what's coming. But
Nice.
beyond games, like we have decisions to make, right? So like really we will secure some degree of revenue from this, but
Okay.
beyond that, like it comes down to what technology do we think people want? Like there are a lot of things that I'm interested in personally, right? That I think would be good. An example is I want to build ADP on chain. I want to make Web3 ADP with anonymized payments. And like I think that that's very interesting. I think it's very useful. But
Mm-hmm.
like is that something people would want? I don't know. So
Yeah.
what I will say is that the kind of plan moving forward is to start small. I think one of the last tweet I made was something like the best way to do something new is to start with something old. So I'm
Yeah.
going to start with things that people are familiar with and expand from there. We're going to have to just take the direction that people want. There's a lot of things that need to be built in this space, but if you don't time it right, it's a massive time investment that doesn't
Yeah.
actually have return. So like really what we're going to do is show capability and then we will quickly pivot to the direction. But I'm talking to a lot of different builders and engineers in the space and we have kind of similar ideas of what the space needs. Another one is that we should probably have NFT financing built in. Right. So like look at the
Okay.
Cardinal solution. People are
Mm-hmm.
very irritated. They say, oh, I can't sell my NFT. I can't transfer my NFT. And it's like, okay, well that sucks if you own it. But if you're financing it, that's actually a beautiful
Yeah.
feature, right? It's like
That's
you can
true.
stake it. You have
Yeah.
access to Discord. You have access to the social network. You have access to a lot of things. You just can't sell it. The same way
Mm.
that if you're leasing something, there's a separate process for sale.
Yeah. No, that's true. And I mean,
So
it's a nice way to limit the listings.
yeah, I mean, like these are simple things that like aren't so sexy. They don't have like mass marketing appeal, but they're
Yeah.
fundamental building blocks of a financial ecosystem. So I mean, the question is like, do we want to go in that direction? Because I think we're technically capable of going
Okay.
in that direction, but or do we want to kind of go down a more artistic direction? So it's really going to come down to kind of how we feel the market is performing. Like we've seen Vandals pivot like many times over the last 8 months. But
Mm-hmm.
but we stay on top and when we stick around when things get difficult. So I mean, really, that is the honest roadmap. The honest roadmap is that we will be here when the dust settles.
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, so basically, like what you mentioned is, but like the choice like a project have to do between have to maybe between like the builders meta and like versus community one, right? Like, are you gonna build? Are we going to build, or are we going to be able to like leverage the community and be a community project? And that was part of the identity of Vandals, that to be a builder from the start, right? And
Yeah,
yeah,
we
like with
wanted
the
to. We
haste,
wanted to
etc.
show it early on. I mean, even like things like multi-token raffle, like not that this is like a very like exciting piece of technology, right? But like when we
Mm-hmm.
were in kind of pre-mint era, like nobody had multi-token. Like I think we actually made the first one, and within a week, a bunch of people had it, right? But like it
Okay.
was like that we did it not because it was the most interesting thing; it was a show of capability. So like it comes down to where do you want to put your time and like what are people going to appreciate and value. And we've gone through so many shifts in the last 8 months, like it's art or then it was passive income, then it was utility, then it was. And like the answers we don't really know, but I think we all know as a community that we love the space and we love being here. And like people watch their NFTs go up 1,000% and they don't sell
Yeah.
like that. That doesn't tell me that people are irrational. It tells me that there's something else keeping them in here, which is
Yeah.
intangible. And like there's a book called Misbehaving by Richard Thaler. He won the Nobel Prize for this book, and he says that many times it's not that people are acting irrational, it's that we are not considering their like what they're optimizing on. And
Yeah,
so that's
that's true.
called misbehaving, because you say that people are misbehaving. And like in this space, like people don't necessarily optimize on floor price. I think some people do, but like look at successful communities like I'm going to look at Decod3rs because you're very big in that space, right? The network that you get from being in it is powerful. And
Yeah,
like there's like
100%.
this emphasis that as a community member, you use your status as a community member and the people that you meet to go after your own ambitions, right? So
Yeah,
that's a very intangible value proposition, but at the same time, it's a very powerful one.
yeah.
So yeah, in the NFT space, that's what we're going to see as the evolution. Floor price is a metric, but what justifies it is not always tangible.
Yeah, 100%. But like, okay, so like that's a question also for vendors. Like, are you going to develop like the sub-DAOs and create those dynamics of groups?
We want to develop the
Okay,
sub-DAOs definitely, but when we go after that, I want it to be kind of like a main focus. Like at the moment, the arcade is
okay.
the main focus. But
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna do them one at a time and like have them like deliberately built. I think we rushed a bit in the past to get things out, and then didn't necessarily execute to the degree that we would have wanted to, because
Okay.
we got caught up in the whole like let's deliver things quickly, let's get to the next thing, and I think that also was a weakness. So like yeah, bear market has been the identify weaknesses. But we do want to do sub-DAOs. I think it's very important for a community as a whole. I definitely have my preferences, right? Like I'm a big fan of the nightmare skin. That's why I think the custom that I wear is a nightmare. I'm a
Yeah.
big fan of the dream skin. I'm a fan of the ghost skin, which I don't know how many people are. I think the fact that we've got Public Enemy is like its own unique look. I'm a fan of
Yeah.
that. But
That's pretty
so
great.
sub-DAOs are important, but it comes down to, do other people want it, right? So like,
Yeah.
are we going to make the sub-DAOs intrinsically valuable, which means like give preferential treatment to some sub-DAOs? Like maybe, like it's a possibility. But if it's
Mm-hmm.
something that the community really, really wants, we'll see them take like kind of a step in that direction, and then we will propel them, if that makes sense. If it's
Yeah.
something people want, we can assist them in making it happen faster and better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like it's like a dynamic of the community that need to push those like activities, because if you just build another group chat with like nothing happen inside, that's bullshit, right? Like, and like you just have sub-DAOs to have sub-DAOs,
Yeah,
and
it's not
that's
it's
useless.
not even that it's not worth the time. It's like in a way dishonest, right?
Yeah,
Like we
exactly.
want it to mean something.
Yeah, 100%. And I was thinking, like, even like, if sub-DAOs like, for example, it can be a goal for the people to actually to buy like, for example, like 10 vendors if they have access to like an elite as like of like community members that are rallying around like a number of like ownership. That can be cool, because like, for example, if you price out into a community like the top tier collection, then you can go to a mid cap collection and try to create the same dynamic with that kind, like another kind of group, but like where you are already inside, right? So yeah, all of like economic and social like experiment and experience, it's also what fascinates me in the crypto market, because it's like between the realm of like, again, finance and the human behavior, more than anything that you can find, even in shitcoin and stuff like that. You can have or even like crypto in general, right? You have communities, but the fact with NFT that you have the image you're using as your identity, etc., like, and you can make money out of that. It's like, yeah, the NFT world it's madness.
It's madness. It truly is. I
Yeah.
mean, look, I gave a speech in Bali. I gave a speech, and like when they put up the kind of like poster around the city to like tell people that the talk was going to happen, like the image
Mm-hmm.
they used for me was the Shaq's PFP. So like it
That's
goes
cool.
deep, right? Like when people are doing things like that, like people are walking up the street in Bali and they see this vandal and they're like, "What the fuck is this?" There's a talk happening. Like it goes so far beyond like sitting in the Phantom wallet or like
Yeah.
sitting on someone's wall at home. Like NFTs really bring this art to life.
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, about the art, I'm curious about that too, right? Like when you had the art upgrade, like you collected feedback from the community, and at which point, like you decided like to improve again and like go into another direction, or like to maintain your team decision and keep like doing it, like doing what you intend to do. Like, how do you manage that?
Look, I mean, the first art upgrade, right? So the issue with the original art, because we loved some of it, it was so good. It was that across the 10K collection, we just really did not feel like it was strong enough. But then when we thought about doing the art upgrade to kind of handle a lot of the feedback we were getting, not even from our community, mostly from kind of like the greater crypto Twitter community,
Okay.
like we realized that we could turn it into a game and like highlight the same things that we've been highlighting. So like NFT Space likes to move quick. It likes to be competitive. It like we realized this leaderboard thing was a way to execute the art upgrade in a unique and novel way. And like just to try something different, which is the whole Vandals brand, that we're always kind of, we have a loud voice and we're trying to do things differently. So I mean, it just fit in with the brand that we had already and it made sense. As for how the art turned out, like I'm happy with it. There's always things that I wish could have like been different, but like that's what the future is for. Like there's definitely things that like in retrospect I would have done differently, but like it's fine. Like we have a whole future to look forward to. We can fix anything.
Yeah, it's that give you like some tasks to do in the future, right?
Yeah, I mean, like it's tough. Art is one of those things that it's so subjective,
Yeah,
and you get very attached
100%.
to things that, like,
Yeah,
you know, if people love it, they love it, and then you never think about
yeah.
like what could have been. But you're never gonna get art 100% right. Um, I think that the joke is that the higher the floor price, the better the art looks. So
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And same thing, like, yeah, my project doesn't have utility, but my floor price is 500 Sol. You have a good utility, man.
there you go. Then the art looks amazing at 500
Yeah,
sol. Anything
exactly.
looks amazing. It's a rock, right? It's a good looking rock.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like, yeah. Let me rock my rock PFP that was like 500,000. I have no problem with that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's now all of a sudden the best art on earth. But I mean, yeah. So art is just not an easy thing to tackle. If you ask me, like the best art I want to say is Azuki.
Okay.
Barry makes fun of me all the time because I feel strongly about this. But like the reason that I say it is because when Azuki first dropped, I called like 15 friends and I said, I have no idea what the hell these people do, but like just look at it. It's so
Yeah.
clean. The pastel colors are very good. Like its own unique identity. Like I think that they got it really right. And it's just not easy, right? They managed to do multiple skin tones. They managed to do multiple genders in a way that was not controversial. And it's just clean. So like, even Decods, like I wasn't struck by the Decods art when I first saw it. Like I was struck by the confidence of the community. So when
Yeah.
one of the things Brad and I were known for is we bought a bunch of Decods early, right? But like we didn't buy it because of anything other than the energy that was like, exacerbated by the community itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then you say
100%. And
they're not going to fail because they're not like saying words of failure. They're saying words of
yeah.
success at all times. So it's going to happen.
Yeah, like it's yeah, exactly. It seems to happen. That's and I will be here for it. That's gonna be nice.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if people believe in manifestation or not, right? But like, all it really is saying that if you believe something positive will happen, then you're more likely to think through the path you have to take to get there.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah,
people,
and
they
you work for
really
it.
wanted the success because like they all believed that the path to success existed, and then it did
Yeah.
because they found
Yeah,
out the
exactly.
avenues they needed.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
It's
Like
not magic.
they didn't know it was impossible, so they did it, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's just you got to do the right things over a long period of time, and then good things
Yeah,
happen.
exactly.
Like it takes a
ML.
long time to be an overnight success.
Yeah, yeah, but that's exactly what what we can see with the NFT project, right? Like projects are dying because of like their founders give up on it. But like you never know if you just continue to work a little bit more, that if you're gonna find something that's gonna make like your floor price and volume going back up, and like you are always like one announcement away of from success, right?
Look, if you don't give up, like good things happen. I mean,
Yeah,
the crypto is
100%.
very, very rewarding to people who do not give up and they kind of stay involved.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like yeah, 100%. Like yeah, crypto reward like the amount of hours you put in, and like yeah, if you stay here like for the next 10 years, like that's what I said to my friend when they talked to me about like crypto. Yeah, I want to try, etc. Like the first thing I'm telling them is like, okay, are you ready to lose money, and can you have the
Yeah, yeah.
discipline to stay in it for 10 years? Because I can guarantee you that you will make money over a long period of time, which is short in a lifespan, right? But like, and if they don't go with that, if they don't flow with these vibes, I say, yeah, don't touch it because
I mean,
yeah,
crypto teaches you discipline, definitely does.
yeah,
Like you know the concept of a moon bag, right? Where it's like the
hmm
extremely high risk things that people buy. And they're like,
yeah,
let's fucking go. This is my moon bag. It's gonna 10,000x. Like a
yeah,
lot of people when they join the space, they like get confused and they think like 100% of my portfolio is going into this moon bag, but it's only
yeah,
gonna be there for like an hour. And then I'm
yeah,
gonna take it out, right? And they just full port, and they got full port. They don't give a fuck like about anything because they're so
yeah,
like high on dopamine in that moment, and like they're excited as shit. They're playing music. They're like on the laptop, and
yeah,
then it all disappears. And then they're like, okay, next time, 5% of my portfolio is going into the moon bag. Like,
yeah.
like it
Eh,
teaches you discipline and responsibility, and only the strong survive. But the ones
yeah.
that do survive just do very well.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But that's why, like, you have to invest in crypto and forget about it. And then, like, there's a high chance that some good shit happen.
Yeah, that's when the good shit happens.
Yeah.
Or the like you just survive and go through the bear market, and then in the bull you thrive, right? Survive and thrive.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what it is. It teaches you discipline. I mean, I'm bullish on Web3 as an ecosystem because I think it creates strong people.
Yeah,
And you know,
100%.
there's no one there to hold your hand, right? Like I think I was at some talk recently, I don't remember which one it was, but they said like it's hard to onboard people into Web3 because like there's a risk of like clicking on a drainer or doing something like that.
Mm,
And I said, guys, that's like personal responsibility. So like if you think about
yeah,
Web3, what it is, it's ownership of
exactly.
information and assets. But like
Yeah,
ownership comes with responsibility. Like
yeah,
if you don't want that responsibility, like then you don't want ownership. Like if you want someone to bail you out in the event
yeah,
that you fuck up, like then you don't have ownership. You have joint custody at best.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
exactly.
like I just think it's something that you gotta. It's not something you can prevent. There's no like punishment for bad actors. It's
hmm
educating people to not fall into the trap.
Yeah, 100%. And like, I tend to like believe that the more and more like we're going into like a society that trying to avoid ownership of your mistake, like it's always like the because of the government of like XYZ person, or it's because like I was not born in the right town or right country, whatever. But like because of like the capitalistic world we are living in, we have more opportunity, and like crypto is one of them, to do like a permissionless actions basically, and like own your own like destiny work, like whatever you want to call it. But like and but like the people try to forget that. And yeah, like I lost my crypto, I got drained, whatever. It's because like Web3 is not ready to onboard. It's like to onboard new people or not tech savvy people. It's not because I clicked on the wrong link from my email telling me that I won board 8, right?
Yeah.
It's like, again, it's like all of that's why I like to talk to founders and like crypto people, because it's like philosophical question that as a French guy I like to talk about, and that's like fascinating discussion. And that's you only find that into Web3 industry.
The thing about getting drained, right, is that like most of the time when people get drained, it's because like they believe something which is too good to be true.
Yeah.
And like the excitement like surrounding that moment of like this is too good to be true puts the blinders on, and then their guard gets let down and they don't think like, okay, where is this coming from, blah 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 blah. So like a good example is like in real world, right, when you go out at night and like you're in like, let's say, a dangerous part of town, you're at some nightclub, there's a very good looking woman that like has invited you to go, right, like you might have blinders to the safety that you're in. Like you might not like position yourself to be safe. You could be walking out late at night in a bad area that you don't know, but you've got blinders on. So like the crypto works very much in the same way, and then people learn to like adjust those blinders after they've been burned. And the only way to really emotionally motivate people is like to go through that experience. So like the most competent, like safe people who do the best in this space have already survived at least one bear market, because like emotionally what they learned, maturity they gained from the bear market just positioned them to be so much stronger the next time around.
Exactly. Yeah, 100%. And do you think a bear market is the right moment to onboard people from Web 2, Web 1, Web 2 to Web 3?
If you think about it, it's the optimal time to onboard people, because the likelihood that things will go well for them is significantly higher.
That's
and
true.
People in the bear market have a lot more integrity, because in order to sustain yourself, you need integrity in the bear. You cannot sustain yourself on pure speculation and excitement, because like the space doesn't have the excitement it does in the bull. Whereas if you onboard in the bull, like you burn a lot of people, like whether or not it's intentional or not intentional. Like if you're buying market tops, like some like people are going to get burned in the short term. Can they hold and make it through? Like absolutely. But like if you're onboarding people and they're about to get burned unknowingly, like that's not an optimal time to onboard. Unfortunately, it's the easiest time to onboard. But what's the Buffett quote? Like, the stock market makes no sense. It's the only store on earth where people stop buying things when they're on sale. And like it's just absolutely true. People want to buy things when there's a lot of excitement, not knowing that like you buy in low volume and you sell in high volume.
Yeah. Like
I mean that's just the proper
that's true.
So
second,
it's just the proper way to do things, but it's an emotional lesson you have to learn.
And like it's when people don't see like the 24 hours gain, like they get, oh yeah, well I saw crypto was like 10x tomorrow, like I wanted to be millionaire with my $100 investment, right? So what the fuck, why it's not happening for me? But
I mean,
it's education.
Well, it's education. We all pay to learn every once in a while. I mean, I've gotten burned on NFTs worse than, I don't even know how to explain some of my bad NFT plays. Like I bought some things for 3 Ethereum, and I think I went to get a coffee from the kitchen. I came back, it was at 0.1. And I'm like, all right, what the fuck is happening? And it's like, oh, the founders like fucked off like right after mint. It's like, oh, okay, great.
Shit.
Or like the mint contract, another one, like I bought it 2.5, I think it went to 0.3 like kind of immediately. And like what ended up happening was that somebody exploited the mint contract so they could get them with preferential gas. So like the mint was priced at 2 Ethereum because of the competitive gas on ETH, right? But like if someone got preferential gas, he was buying them at like 0.3. So yeah, he just flooded the market and killed the momentum. But it's like how you can't like see these things coming, right? But
I mean,
just to be smarter about your approach. Like you can't expose yourself beyond what you can emotionally handle. And if
Yeah.
you do that, like life will be good. And one of the negative things we have had in the space, like I don't like to talk about negative things too much right now, but like what it is that people overexpose themselves, and in a way it's admirable or endearing because it usually comes from a point of exuberance. Like they're so ecstatic about what's going on that they overexpose. The issue is that when you overexpose and you do get burned, like the negative energy that you put out into the world and the space around you it's overwhelming to everyone else. And
Yeah.
it doesn't put a good light on the space as a whole. So look, I'm glad that Sol had this moment, because 2023, 2024, it's going to have the maturity that Ethereum already has.
Yeah. Like, so below 10, like, bro, I was starting to ask myself some question about like the future of Solana. Like, hopefully, like it lasts for, yeah, like 2 weeks, but like not too long, or even a couple of days. Because like, yeah, like the narrative of Solana being like from 250 to below 10, that would have been hard to come back from that. I saw, but like, yeah, like 2 weeks after, then we back to 20, and then yeah, everyone is happy.
I mean, look, if you
So
entered crypto in 2022, right, and you
yeah,
like only knew about Sol, I know a lot of people that only know about Sol. They entered in
yeah,
2022, they saw YouTube videos, they jumped on the train, and then they saw
mm,
it go down. Like they were like ecstatic to buy Sol at 250 because they're like, it's
yeah,
gonna go 3,000, it's next Ethereum,
yeah,
and then it goes down, and they go, I just got scammed. But like the
yeah,
people who've been here a long time, they see that double from like 10 to 25, wherever we're
yeah,
sitting. I think 2350 right now, and they're like, this is how it works. Like I've seen this before.
mm,
I understand what's going on. We got more decentralized during the collapse. We like still have the builders. The same lines of code are being written every day. New users are being onboarded. The daily
mm-hmm,
volume is up. The number of the daily active wallets is up. Like that's what we're looking at. Our Nakamoto index is still better than every other chain. Like these are
yep,
the things that we're looking at when we say, are we going to survive and are we going to thrive in the future? Like the price is in a way irrelevant. It's the same way that like NFT projects that are building behind the scenes, like the price is irrelevant because once it turns on, like there's not going to be a lot of friction to the upside.
yeah. At That depends, because then you have the liquidity and the volume that can put a ceiling on top of your floor price, right?
Absolutely,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Because like, yeah, again, like it's gonna be hard like for project to go above like 1,000 in the market, the actual market condition, I guess. But yeah, like the difference of price with the top project right now, and like, yeah, those ceiling, maybe it's, yeah, you still have some room to grow anyway. And
Yeah,
yeah, like, by
absolutely.
the way, what second?
I was just agreeing. Absolutely, I agree with
Yeah.
you.
Like, do you have like internal discussion about like the multi-chain future, or do you want to solely focus on Solana?
I mean, I'd like to stay here because this was our home, right? Like
Yeah.
I really believed in this chain a long time ago. I think it's important to branch out and like understand kind of holistically what's going on in the Web3 space instead of like just remaining siloed. But
Mm-hmm.
when I started building on Sol, like it was for some specific reasons. One is that I believe in the proof of history social conditions, right? I believe that having a chain where order of events is more important than political influence. Like I believe that is an important thing.
Mm.
Uh, so that means a lot to me, right? Like that's a little bit abstract, but when you speculate on the future of something, I would rather support something that values order of events over influence.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that makes
not to
sense.
say not to say that is like going to work. It all depends on kind of what ecosystem we tap into, because like in some ecosystems political influence is what you want, but like Soul
Yeah.
is it's this speed driven. It really rewards the kind of grungy hardworking people who find information first. Like you can't show up at the last minute and then increase the gas you want to pay to get something over someone else.
Fast. Yeah.
You have to get a sniper bot, and you got to beat them speed wise.
That's one of my issue with like ETH, right? Like the gas war, like the concept of gas wars. I don't really vibe with it. Like it's I don't want to pay a premium to go faster. Like, and I don't want other people who have a bigger wallet than me to pay a premium to go faster and to get access to assets. It's.
If I make like a political comment, right? Like, sorry, like I'm not upset with the fact that people can outpay to get something now, or to get something first, but I think it's very risky when the asset really counts. So if you're talking about an NFT, like that's fine. If you're talking about something like water supply, right? Like now this gets tricky. Like when you're talking about a piece of art or like a game, like it's fine. Like if you want to pay more, like all power to you.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about things that count at a humanitarian level, like it is
100%.
That's a risk. That's a different conversation, you know.
Yeah, or votings, like election or something like that. That's But anyway,
I mean, like what about voting? What about voting? Right, you need a 51%. You need a what's it called?
Yeah.
You need a majority. You can just like rush all the votes, and if you rush all the votes, you can make people feel like it's a landslide.
Yeah, exactly. And then you have like you can count the vote.
That could definitely influence how like the people who have not voted yet decide to vote.
Exactly.
You're like, shit, this looks like a landslide. Is there something I don't know? Am I on the wrong side of things?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then you stop the count.
Yeah. I mean, it's just not ideal, but I think it's very, very useful in a lot of cases. I can just think of some cases where it's not ideal. So like I do like Sol as an ecosystem a lot. I like the quality of people in it. Like I'm also like not too concerned with kind of like all the scammers that have been here, right? Because like they're everywhere. So like I don't think that that's unique to Sol. But I think that the quality of the real people in the space is phenomenal. It's something that I haven't seen anywhere else.
Yeah, like I think we need to see like what's the long-term repercussion of the FTX debacle will have to Solana. Maybe it's kind of over, like the ish for Solana chain, like directly. But like the whole sentiment, like if we're still attached to it, that can be tricky to sell and to onboard new people, right? Or maybe they're gonna even forget about all of it in like a couple of months. And again, if we go back to 50, 100, 150 bucks, then like the price will be our best, our best like marketing stunt and feature of the chain. And in the next bear market, we will be in a good position, like to increase market cap and etc. Right?
Yeah, absolutely, makes sense.
Yeah, because even like I saw a tweet thread about like the last upgrade of the chain, like that were published like recently. I think they upgraded recently, like the quick update, etc. Like it's. Maybe we will not see like any outage on the chain, like any ever.
I mean,
hopefully
the outages they've been getting less impactful every time.
Yeah,
like they don't last as long, and like in general the damage done was like a lot less. But so I'm bullish on that. I don't think that this is a growing pain. I think Anatoly had the best answer that you could have possibly given, which is when people asked him about outages, he said, well, if you look closely at your RPC that you're using, it says mainnet beta. So I'd like to thank all the people that are attacking the Sol network, because you are making it very easy for us to fix it.
Yeah.
Like you're just letting us know what we got to fix, and like, you know, once we fixed it, we won't be in beta anymore. Thank you very much for the free pen test. It was a great response, because it's true. And like people forget that Sol hit $250, and we are still today on a beta net. Like we're not even like in full release yet, and we hit 250. I mean, come on, this is ridiculous.
No, it's gonna be awesome. Like yeah, like in crypto in general, probably for like Bitcoin, ETH, and even like Solana, the future will be impressive. And yeah, hopefully we will all be here to see it, and that's what we are working on. So yeah, that's the future will be bright for us too, right?
Means the people watching you are going to be here because they're going to be well educated, they're going to be in the know, so that they're going to stick around. So
yeah,
I think
thank
that
you,
for your
man.
audience, at least, there's good things coming for your audience.
Yeah, thank you. Like yeah, like about content creation, like is there any focus for the Vandals, like to do something around content creation, or even like more space, or like more like interview, like what we're doing right now? Because like you know that like the best project, or like the project or making the more noise, and like getting the more attention, or striving like at least a bit more than the other one, right? So is that going to be your focus too for this year?
I mean, my focus for Q1 is build some cool shit, make some
Yeah.
noise, and remind people like what Vandals is, like get the uniformity back, right? My focus for Q2 is find the gaps in the space and then try to fill them. Focus for Q3 is is then assess what happened in the first two and go in and fix things that didn't work, and hopefully, you know, knock on wood, everything does work. And then we can go into then we can take like an art approach. We can go into kind of more subjective things like brand building, networking. But like for the moment, I think that we need to remind people that like Vandals are a builder ecosystem. So we're gonna make some cool things that make noise.
Nice.
And bring everyone back. I think that's just the easiest, simplest way to word it.
That's perfect, man. And I will be here like to see it, and we can even make more lives about it like along the way. That's gonna be dope. Yeah, I think yeah, yeah, like my pleasure, man. That's again, like I like your team, I like your project. So yeah, again, we will strive together, hopefully. Yeah, I think like we are in the format. So like yeah, last question for you maybe. Do you have any question that you wish I would ask you during this live before we wrap it up?
Let me think. Give me 1 second. I'm on the spot. So something that I wish you would have asked is honestly, no, you did a good job. I think you covered it. I was trying to think of something clever last second, but didn't come up with it. So Vince, you did a great job. Thank you for hosting.
Thank you so much. That was a pleasure for me too. And yeah, like if you have any comments in the audience, like we can take some question. But if we don't, we're gonna wrap it up. Like oh yeah, or you have like a Shax, you have an invitation like from the Bihag Radio. Like that's a trust from the OKB project that doing a podcast too. So like booking some lineup for you to for the next one.
Look, Bear Hug
He's a
Radio,
great guy.
if you want me to come on, like I'll come on. Find like a hot topic. I'll come in and I'll give a hot take on it.
Exactly. Yeah. let's break the internet.
Give me a social topic, ecosystem. Give me anything. Vandals.
Nice.
Barry and I will do an AMA. Give me something else that we can have a hot take on.
It's gonna be dope. Thank you so much, man. And yeah, for everyone in the audience, again, like quick recap about like what we are doing here. Again, we are decentralized YouTube channel. So basically, what we're producing, the content, it's gonna be yours. Or we're gonna mint or NFT like probably early Q2. So to get whitelist, make sure you subscribe to this channel because everything is linked. And yeah, I will see you in the next video, the next live. And again, Shax, thank you so much for being here. And yeah, say hi for me to Barry. Hopefully, like for the next live, like we'll be all together, all the bros.
Sounds good. We'll make it happen. Thank you so much for having me.
Wonderful.
All right.
Have a nice day, man. Thank you so much.
Have a nice one. Thank you.